Welcome back. So we've just gone through data. Now, here's the thing. When you know about data, data is king. So when we've got that data, we then know how to scale it. So that means we need to automate it. Look, if you want to be a seven-figure creator, you have to be really good with your time. We only have 24 hours in a day. So one of the things we have to do, we have to have specific ways to be able to do things that save our time. So for example, when I'm creating content on social media, I don't just say, okay, I'm going to do this day, this day, this day, because some things always get in the way. You don't always have the time to do that. For example, if I'm flying on a plane and I get an idea, sometimes I'll go, oh, wow, I saw something. And that gives me the idea to do something. And then I just pull the camera out and I film it. That's what we call spontaneous workflow, meaning I just do it on the go. Or if someone says a quote to me, I quickly create it into a content. And actually, one of the things that I do for automation to be able to do this is I will pump it into, say, a ChatGPT, or I'll pump it into like an X, and it reminds me of different ideas that I need to do. So it's kind of creating that workflow, but that's spontaneous. But if I want to do something that is a little bit more structured, then one thing I like to do is I call it the 90 degree, right? What does that mean? That means I can create a video, and as I'm creating this video, I can then change how I look in that video. So if I face the camera like this, then you've got this background. But if I change it 90 degrees, then the camera's facing the other way and it looks like a different shot. So when I'm creating content and I want to create the workflow for that, I will chunk that time together. So if I pick a Monday, right, this is a really good workflow. If you want a structured workflow, Mondays all day. So you film every Monday all day. So if you can film 5 pieces of content in that Monday, or even 7 pieces of content in that Monday, then you've got a week's worth of content that you can post. Now, here's the great news about this. You want to automate a lot of these strategies. We can take the video, we can put the video into something called a descript. So what that means is you can put your video into something and it will transcribe every single word that you say. So now I have a video, I can automate that and turn that into text. Now I have a video, now I have text. So the good news about this, I have 2 pieces of content from 1 piece of content. Then I can take the text, I can highlight all the quotes through it. So I can take that quote, put it into something like a Canva, right? Or a design program which can create text for you. And then you can make it into a beautiful design. So the great thing about this is when I'm creating structured content, I'm able to put it in such a way that I can create the content on a consistent basis, but every single Monday, which means it saves and blocks my time. Okay, well, now we've created the content. What different ways can we automate this content? Ultimately, we want to save time. There are different tools, softwares, and also ways you can automate this without you having to physically be there. Give an example. So let's say right now, again, you want to be a 7-figure creator. We put things on social media, we get awareness, people see who we are, and then we monetize, right? That's what we want to do. So awareness, we want to monetize, but we want to automate that. So how do you automate it? Well, it's really simple. I can record a video, or in fact, I could go live once on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube. And in fact, a great way to do this is I like to get like 5 phones, and I have all the phones lined up and I go live, 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 live. So I'm going live on all the platforms at the same time. So once I've done that, I can then take that recording of different angles and I can chop them all together. And by the way, there's automated software in editing that can do that for you. You can download all the videos, you can drop it into one software and it will chop it into different videos for you. So you got different angles and variations. So once I'm now creating these videos, I can now take that video and I can schedule it to go live. Now, what is scheduling? So scheduling is, you don't always have time to sit there on your phone and then post it. I know, it's so funny. It only takes a couple of seconds to post, a minute at most to post. But the problem is when you're in workflow, it doesn't work like that. If I'm in a meeting, I've got to go out and make a post and then come back. Or if I'm on a call, I've got to make a post. It doesn't work like that. So to automate your time, to get the workflow right, so you're systemizing a lot of the things that you do, you got to make sure that you're using scheduling software. So, for example, I take that video that I just did on an Instagram Live or a Facebook Live, and I push it into a scheduling software that goes live at certain times, right? So if I want to go live at 12 o'clock, I say go live at 12, but I could be on the plane. But on my Instagram, it's going to say John Lee has gone live. And then people start coming in and then you start talking. And that is not you. That is automated. And here's the thing, 7-figure creator, simple process. Get the awareness, add value, make an offer. That's it. So imagine right now, I'm going live right now. Okay, hi, this is John Lee here. Welcome to Instagram Live. And you do your content. At the end, you give a very simple call to action. If you would love to, have a strategy session, if you'd love to buy the XYZ product, just send me a DM, right? So the DM can now be automated. So imagine now I'm talking to you on camera and you're watching live and I say, comment the word book if you want to buy my book. So during that Instagram live, when you comment the word book, you'll get an automated DM that comes to you now with a link. And when you click that link, you go to the page to buy the book. So these are some of the automated strategies you can use. You've also got things like posts that can go out on a specific time. So all these softwares can now be scheduled like a calendar. You open the calendar up, you drop all your posts in, you click publish, and it will post it when the day and time comes. So if you want to become a 7-figure creator, you cannot spend your time actively doing it. For example, look at this program. I'm filming this, and now I do the effort once, and now it's called passive effort, right? I'm not creating income from having to do this every single time live. I create it once, I set it and forget it. And that's what we want to do with social media. As a 7-figure creator, you want to make sure that every process that you're doing, every video, every post, every text post, every audio is actually automated. I'll give you another example. Every one of these social media platforms have something called social audio. And what is social audio? Social audio is when you can talk on a phone, right? And then people listen. It's like, kind of like a live podcast. And I mentioned this in the previous lessons. But imagine now, if I can just record 30 lessons for half an hour each or an hour each, right? Because I'm doing it anyway. So what I would do is I would do the recording and I would put a mic on and I would record it as a voice file, MP3. So next time I go live, I can use a device called a roadcaster, and these are kind of like an amplifier. If I take that amplifier, I can take that and plug it into the phone, and then the recording that I just did, I can go live on the social audio platform, click a button, and it plays my voice. So people think now I'm going live on a social audio event, but I'm not even there. So now I'm able to automate a lot of this stuff. And do you know the best thing? Here's one of the best ways, and again, we'll talk about this later in the course when we come to monetization, is we want to automate the effort of conversion. How do we do that? So one of the things I love to do is I will automate the comments, right? So I say, hey, if you want to attend my next event, comment the word event. So my DM will send them a specific link. And that link, when they click on it, it will go to a page. And that page will say, register for this event, for example. So they register for the event, and on the day and the time it starts, I've already pre-recorded my event from the year before or 6 months before. So now as we go through a lot of this stuff, the automation is now being created, which means when they click on the link, they register for the event, and now they're watching an entire presentation that's fully automated. So this is, again, some of the ways you can use some of the tools, some of the strategies to be able to monetize. And this is one of the best ways to become a 7-figure creator. One of the great things about automating is people are now using it for customer service. For example, a lot of the crypto platforms right now. So let's say you try and open a wallet or you try and trade on the platform and they can't get on. So you know what they do? They find them on Twitter and X and they message them to say, I tried to sign up for an account and I can't get in. Do you know the crazy thing about that? The social media has now become a customer service tool. So if you have a service or a product right now, people are going to reach out to you and they're going to start posting things on social media. At this company, I didn't get this email. At this company, I just made a purchase, but I didn't receive a download. Or at this company, I just bought this thing and it wasn't delivered to me. But imagine right now if you can use automation, because all the inquiries that you get is the same. I didn't get this. I paid for that. So customer service is always things that are missing. And here's the good news about this. You can now take all those inquiries, all those questions, complaints, if you will, take all that data. You can now put it into what we call an AI bot, which will now answer the questions for you. So now you can implement a lot of the AI into these softwares so it just all dynamically talks. So you put all these inquiries into a knowledge base. All this knowledge base has all the questions anyone's ever asked. So you're building up data. Next time people ask the question, it will then search the knowledge base and pull the answer out. Now you're replacing the customer service section of your company. It's just incredible. One of the things I also look for as well when it comes to creating opportunities and automating is a lot of the DMs that come from social media are actually inquiries which potentially can turn into sales. Give an example. Someone messages me, say, John, I saw your video on property investing. Great. How can I help? Well, I'm thinking of buying a property in London. Okay. How much are you looking to spend? Oh, about $500,000. And then my bot, based on what they ask, if I can find you a property in London for $500,000, would you be interested in buying it? Yes. So what happens is it's pre-qualifying all these things now. So now I have the opportunity to be able to now make sales. So by having these bots and automated replies, and a lot of the softwares now have what we call a DM feature. It stands for direct message. It's when someone sends you a message directly. And when someone sends you a direct message, you have what we call a primary folder where people that you follow, they see. You have a general folder where when people send you a message, but let's say they're following you, but you're not following them, it goes there. And then there's what we call a request folder where you're not following this person. You don't even know they exist, and they try and, I guess, spam you. So you should really look at all these different things, and especially in Instagram, they have these specific tools, but you get different types of messages. And the messages are, if I follow you, you follow me, you see my message. If you follow me, but I don't follow you, right? You send me a message, it goes into a separate folder. It's kind of filtered. So for me, when I'm making sales, I want to look for the sales things that come in that actually allow me to turn that inquiry or that DM into a sale. Now, there's another thing which I think is huge for automating and vetting opportunities. I'll give an example. I have a lot of, because I do a lot of business, entrepreneurship, and investing, people always ask me, John, what investment opportunities do you have? And honestly, I get so many business or decks that are sent to me all the time. Thousands of them every year. I don't have time to vet every single one. But what if I could have a system that could take that inquiry? So someone says, John, I've got an investment opportunity. Great. So is it tech? Is it real estate? Is it business? Like, which one is it? Okay, it's tech. Okay, tech is here. So based on that, I have another automated response. Okay, based on this tech, do you have a deck? Yes or no? If they say no, I'm not interested. If they say yes, the next thing is send it to this email. So they send it to the email, and this specific email, right? It's a specific email. So you would have to set one up specifically for your inquiries. They send it to that specific email. I can have AI now talk to that person, right? Based on the deck. Okay, what's your turnover? Is it a napkin idea? Is it a pre-seed round? How much money have you raised so far? Have any of the founders on there exited? I ask these specific qualifying questions. So the answer, yes. Then what I do is okay, take the assessment. They click that, they go to another software, right? So you have these things, and I mentioned it before, called scorecards or quizzes. And based on how they answer the question, I will score them. So if I say to them, have you exited from a company before? If they click yes, I'm going to give them high points because I want to invest in companies that have what we call a high tech score or a high level of exitability. So meaning, have they sold a company before? Has it been acquired before? These are things that I'm looking for. So if they say yes, I give them more points. If they say no, I deduct points. And based on all the questions that they answer, when they get to the end of it, if they score over 80% based on this quiz, it will show them a specific video. Congratulations, you scored over 80%. Click the link below to find out what we can do for you, or watch the video below and let's schedule a call. So now it schedules the call. Now, how do you schedule the call? You see, the problem with scheduling calls is you're busy, they're busy, you're in a different time zone, they're in a different time zone. Here's the beauty way to automate this and save time. This is how I vet opportunities. So you can have a calendar that only has specific dates and times in there. So I'm only available on this day and this time. So if I'm at Disneyland or Disney World with my daughter, I'm not available for this time. But at nighttime when they're sleeping, I have a 2-hour slot when everyone's gone to sleep, right? So they can only book those slots. So now you're automating the entire process from a single social media post to a DM, to an email, to a qualification process, to automated emails going out. We talked about CRMs, customer relationship management systems. Based on an email that you send to me, it will automatically send an email back to you based on what response that you do. If you click on a link, I can tag you as someone who's interested. Right? So there's so many different ways that we can automate this, and we will go into a lot of details on how these specific things work. But again, making sales, customer service, using it for automating, having all the things that will increase your sales for you, this is the true secret of a seven-figure creator. Okay, so it's action time. Listen, I'm super proud that you've got this far. And I know you're thinking, God, this is overwhelming, so much things to do. Let me tell you something. Having money will solve all the issues that not having money creates. So if you do this, you won't have to worry about money again. You just need to make sure that you're implementing it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick an automation. It can be anything. It could be, I want to automate my content. I want to automate my posts. I want to automate my email. I want to automate my DM. Everything I've talked about. You want to automate this process and you want to schedule in the time to do it. Look at your calendar, look at where you're busy, and then block out a day to implement the automation I've shared with you. Maybe you're a little bit more free. Okay, you can be a little bit more spontaneous to do that. But you need to make sure that you are implementing this because look, you only have 24 hours in a day, and so do I. So we want this to work for you, right? We want automation and leads and sales to come in for you. That's how you become a seven-figure creator. Why you want to get this done now? Because in the next session, I'm going to show you how to make your content go viral. How do we get hundreds of thousands and millions of views on this so we can drive the automation in and so you can become a seven-figure creator. See you in the next session.